Hey guys, Will here. Last time, we looked at the top 5 best dungeons in WoW. Today, we're going to instead talk about the worst 5 dungeons in the game. Remember, this is all just my opinion, so feel free to disagree and share your own thoughts. Number 5. Gate of the Setting Sun and Siege of Nizhao Temple. While most of Pandaria's dungeons are mediocre, the two Mantid dungeons, Gate of the Setting Sun and Siege of Nizhao Temple, stand out as being particularly awful. Even if you like the Mantid in general, the bosses are far too easy and have generally annoying and unfun mechanics. The RP event before the second boss in Nizhao Temple is extremely long and aggravating, even more so while doing challenge modes. Gate of the Setting Sun's trash is so bad that nearly every group simply runs by it, taking the elevator to avoid as much of the instance as possible. Number 4. Sunken Temple. Known for being one of the most confusing labyrinths in vanilla, this dungeon was both loved and hated by many. With Cataclysm, however, Blizzard decided to simplify some of the more puzzling dungeon layouts. Sunken Temple went from a dark, mysterious place, with all sorts of optional quests and bosses, and multiple levels and ways to go, to being a small, crowded instance with very boring trash and bosses. While revamped heroic dungeons like Scarlet Monastery turned out well, the changes to Sunken Temple ruined the feel of the instance entirely. Number 3. The Black Morass. Also known as the opening of the Dark Portal, players protect Medivh from the infinite dragonflight in this dungeon. Similar to the Battle for Mount Hyjal or the Violet Hold, trash and bosses spawn in predetermined locations at certain times. This makes the instance incredibly linear and boring, as it all takes place in one ugly, swampy outdoor area. Lore-wise, I find this dungeon interesting, but from a gameplay perspective, it's lacking any sort of enjoyable mechanics. Number 2. The Oculus. Aside from Flame Leviathan, vehicle fights suck. In general, people want to actually play their characters. Using the drakes to maneuver around the instance was a cool idea, but without direction, most players had no idea what they were supposed to do. DPS players using the red drake, attempting to fight the trash while mounted, no one had any idea what was going on. Because players would leave this dungeon almost immediately, Blizzard had to incentivize it by providing a loot bag to anyone who finished it on heroic difficulty, a precursor to the current call to arms system. Number 1. Morrigan. I still have yet to meet anyone who can find their way around this place. Its large size and multiple floors make it very easy to get lost. The map is nearly impossible to use unless you already know your way around. Combine that with the dungeon being for relatively low levels, and thus new players, and you have a terrible experience. While some say Blackrock Depths is difficult to navigate, I'd say Morrigan is even worse. And those were the top 5 worst dungeons in WoW. At least, that's what I think. How about you guys? Which dungeons do you absolutely hate doing? Anyway, that's all from me for now, so I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.